Hello team, welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video with myself, Jonathan M.S. Pierce. This is a US politics breaking news update, a late night one for me, but I think I should talk to you about this because it's massive news. It is going to be all over the networks from now on. This is a scoop really by the Wall Street Journal. We knew something was going to happen because, well, we had a good sense that something's going to happen because a couple of days ago, Trump started getting really angsty about Epstein and started pushing the Democrat hoax. He was saying it in interviews and he said it on Truth Social. Aaron Rupar here saying the Wall Street Journal reports that when reporters contacted Trump 2 days ago about this story that we're going to talk about in a second, he threatened to sue if it was published, then hours later claimed that Obama and Biden made up the Epstein files. So I think that was trying to prime his audience, his supporters, with the idea that this is all fake news because all the Epstein files business was written by the Clintons and the Obamas and the Bidens, even though the files supposedly implicate Bill Clinton, for example. Anyway, we were hearing throughout this evening the Wall Street Journal investigative pitbulls, as Brian Allen says here, are still sharpening the Trump-Epstein piece, and the White House is already speed dialing editors begging for a muzzle, lawyers combing every comma, drop window, days, not weeks. Actually, it turned out to be literally minutes, hours and minutes. Translation, he said at the time they're sweating bullets because something in that draft hits hard. And then Brian Tyler Cohen said the White House is reportedly working to kill a potentially explosive story from the Wall Street Journal relating to Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Trump is personally calling them to try to prevent it being published. Well, it seems like it has been published tonight. Will Sommer here says, big Epstein news from the Status. Wall Street Journal is working on new details about Trump's relationship with Epstein, and Trump badly wants to stop it from being published. He reportedly called Wall Street Journal's editor-in-chief to try and kill the story. This is the story. So the Wall Street Journal, at least I believe this is, I don't think there's anything else after this, but who knows. Title, Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him Bawdy letters for a 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. The leather-bound book was compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell. The president says the letter is, quote, a fake thing. And we already know that they had a relationship, that Jeffrey Epstein had claimed to Michael Wolff that, and this is on recording. You can get this is not made up. Jeffrey Epstein is on record saying that they were closest of friends for 10 years or so. But anyway, for his 50th birthday, Ghislaine Maxwell prepared a special gift, which is a kind of leather-bound book from family and friends writing him sort of letters and whatnot. So this has come into the hands of the Wall Street Journal. Pages from the leather-bound album assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006 are among the documents examined by the Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago. Now, remember today, what happened today? I reported this morning that the major prosecutor, I think it's James Comey's daughter actually, who was responsible for prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein, was fired today by the Trump administration. And I'm sure there aren't such things as coincidences in these particular contexts. But anyway, so among the documents examined by Justice Department officials, one of whom might well have been fired today, who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago, according to people who reviewed the pages, it's unclear if any of the pages are part of the Trump administration's recent review. A letter bearing Trump's name, it says later, which was reviewed by the Journal, is Bawdy. Like others in the album, it contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, quote, happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. That's pretty explosive because it appears, if if you were to think this is connected to his illegal behavior, that Donald Trump kind of knew about it. Well, there's certainly some secretive stuff going on, and it was regular, because may every day be another wonderful secret, and that secret is wonderful. That's really positive. It's something that he thinks is great, Donald Trump, that is. So if that's to do with Epstein's behavior, then that's going to be incredibly controversial. That is quite the incriminating statement, but of course it's also suitably vague. In an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. So they had approached him 2 days ago, Tuesday evening, which is when he started going crazy about the Epstein files and talking about it being a hoax. So the Wall Street Journal had hit him with this. He said he denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. Quote, "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story," he said. "I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women." He said, "It's not my language. It's not my words." He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. Quote, "I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else," he said. Allegations that Epstein had been sexually abusing girls became public in 2006, and he was arrested that year. Epstein died in jail in 2019 after he was arrested a second time and charged with sex trafficking conspiracy. Justice Department officials didn't respond to requests for comment or address questions about whether the Trump page and other pages in the birthday album were part of the agency's recent documents review. The FBI declined to comment. The existence of the album and the contents of the birthday letters haven't previously been reported. The album had poems, photos, and greetings from business people, academics, Epstein's former girlfriends, and childhood pals, according to the documents reviewed by the Journal and people familiar with them. Among those who submitted letters were billionaire Leslie Wexner and attorney Alan Dershowitz. The album also contained a letter from a now-deceased Harvard economist, one of Epstein's report cards from Mark Twain Junior High School in Brooklyn, and a note from a former assistant that included an acrostic with Epstein's name, "Jeffrey, oh Jeffrey, everyone loves you, fun in the sun, fun just for fun, remember, don't forget me soon, Epstein, you rock, you are the best." Epstein was Wexner's money manager at the time. The longtime leader of Victoria's Secret wrote a short message that said, "I wanted to get you what you want, so here it is." After the text was a line drawing of what appeared to be a woman's breasts. Wexner declined to comment through a spokesman. Wexner's spokesman previously told the Journal that the retail mogul, quote, "severed all ties with Epstein in 2007 and never spoke to him again." Dershowitz's letter included a mock-up of a Vanity Unfair magazine cover with mock headlines such as, "Who was Jack the Ripper? Was it Jeffrey Epstein?" He joked that he had convinced the magazine to change the focus of an article from Epstein to Bill Clinton. Dershowitz, who represented Epstein after his arrest, said, quote, "It's been a long time and I don't recall the content of what I may have written." The book was put together by a New York bookbinder, Herbert Weitz. According to people who were involved in the process, Weitz, who died in 2020, listed Epstein as a client on his website in 2003. It isn't clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein, written in the third person. And here's the quote. So this is what is written. Voiceover. "There must be more to life than having everything," the note began. Donald: "Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is." Jeffrey: "Nor will I, since I also know what it is." Donald: "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey." And that is being seen as an incriminating statement as well. That one, I'll read that again. This has been quoted quite a lot on the socials. Donald: "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey." Jeffrey: "Yes, we do, come to think of it." Donald: "Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?" Jeffrey: "As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you." Trump: "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." So there's certainly a lot here to get people all worked up. This is certainly going to be controversial and will take up a lot of the news cycles. I think Trump is going to be fighting fire here big time, especially since we already know that there are other dots to join here. Epstein and Trump, it says later in the article, spent time together in the 1990s and early 2000s and were photographed at social events, including with Maxwell and Melania Trump. A 1992 tape from the NBC archives shows Trump partying with Epstein at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Trump is seen pulling a woman toward him and patting her behind. Trump, along with others, including Clinton, who appeared several times on flight logs for Epstein's private jet. A 2002 New York Magazine profile of Epstein quoted Trump, quote, this is Trump saying this, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy," Trump said. "He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life." Both men said that they subsequently had a falling out. Trump has said their friendship ended before Epstein pleaded guilty to procuring a minor for prostitution in 2008, served time in a Florida jail, and registered as a sex offender. When Epstein was arrested again in 2019, Trump said he hadn't talked to Epstein for about 15 years. Quote, "I knew him like everybody in Palm Beach knew him," Trump said in an Oval Office at the time. "I was not a fan of his, that I can tell you." Trump's spokeswoman told the Journal in 2023 that Trump had banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club at some point in the past without elaborating. So let's see if there's anything else worthy of note. Yeah, the rest of the article is just talking about what's been happening in the last couple of weeks and the controversy with Pam Bondi. Elon Musk also being quoted here, since he has come out very publicly to call for the Epstein files to be released publicly. So I think this will cause suitable explosions in the political and information landscapes. As you can see, people are highlighting the important parts to the article, and you're going to hear a lot about this. As Chris Hayes says from MSNBC, "Lord in heaven, this sounds incriminating as hell." Jesus. But I don't know that he'll be able to swat some of this off, either just outright deny it, which he's very good at doing, Donald Trump, or he might have others, proxies, to say, well, there's nothing particularly incriminating personally in this. No, certainly nothing illegal can be evidenced in this. Yes, just lots of people quoting it all over the place. It's worth also recognizing this. I talked in my video this morning about there being a fracture in the Trump base. Those who are loyal to kind of the Epstein files, conspiracy theories, etc., are not happy with Trump, and those who are loyal to Trump, first and foremost, are batting this away. This is Newsmax, that is a news station that sits to the right of Fox, is trying to be the new Fox, and opportunistically will look at where Fox backs. In this case, Fox backs Trump, and Newsmax sees an opportunity to maybe support those criticizing Trump from that right-wing information space. So let's see what they have to say.
There is obviously some who will not be covering big developments like Comey's daughter and her comments today. I mean, Trump told MAGA to be quiet about Jeffrey Epstein. Fox News obeyed. Fox News falling in line with Trump's Epstein plea, but will the rest of MAGA media comply? Well, I'll play a little bit. This is Rob Schmidt addressing all of this on his show here on.
What she's doing there is reading from a CNN business headline, but that's right. Fox News falls in line with Trump's Epstein plea. So Fox News very much beholden to anything that Trump demands of them. But the CNN business headline is interesting, but will the rest of MAGA media comply? Well, of course, that's Newsmax for a start, and then all the right-wing influencers on the socials.
On Newsmax last night.
Again, this is what MAGA voters voted for. A government for the people, where the rich and the powerful get the same justice as the rest of us. You may have noticed the Epstein story was almost nowhere to be found, though, on Fox News these last couple of days. After months of very consistent coverage, it's pretty obvious that a lot of people don't really know what to do with this. There's a
That's exactly what I was saying this morning, that some people have flip-flopped. You've got Tim Pool, on the one hand, towing the party line with regard to Trump and support for Trump, and then on the other hand, going back to the other side saying, actually, he's nuking his base. And they don't really know quite what to do, because they want to be really loyal to Trump, but they've been banging on about the Epstein files for 3 years, and there's so much cognitive dissonance in many of the Trump supporters, and that's exactly what your Newsmax man is saying here.
A lot of people that are very scared because it's clear that the White House didn't want this to be a subject, but Trump's base, his supporters and base, care about it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's Newsmax for you. And then, as I say, just look at the socials. It is all over the socials at the moment, and it's going to be pretty. The socials are going to be pretty full of this stuff for some time to come. We'll see how it turns out. There's one more thing that has been circulating today as well, and that it concerns Epstein's money, the flow of money. So Ron Wyden had said earlier tonight, big news from my investigators on Epstein's sex trafficking operation. The Trump administration has an Epstein file detailing 4,725 wire transfers and almost $1.1 billion flowing through just one of his banks, hundreds of millions more through others. The Trump administration claims it doesn't have enough evidence to investigate. If you ask me, that's 4,725 lines of investigation right there. And that should only be the start of it. Epstein had to pay for all his sex trafficking somehow. Further evidence shows he used Russian banks to process hundreds of millions in payments. Again, this is info in the possession of the Trump administration, but they're refusing to investigate. So there's someone else saying, look, Epstein wasn't working for Israel, he was working for Russia. I mean, goodness me. But anyway, a lot of people talking about these wires, because you're not going to get you're not going to have that much money flowing around if you're not doing some kind of trafficking scheme, or that there isn't something incredibly dodgy going on. So I think, those lines, those bank details and that information does, I think, require some kind of explanation. Anyway, that's enough from me tonight. Just a quickish one for you to get your teeth into. This has got legs. This story, it will rumble on, and I don't know that Trump is going to be able to close this Pandora's box. It's going to be fascinating to see what he does to try and deal with this, and I would only expect more scoops to materialize, more information to emerge, and none of it I don't think will be good for Trump. Anyway, thanks for watching, take care, and speak to you soon.